Head of Industrial Court warns employers against forcing employees to work. One economist is not expecting diversification to be part of the national budget. Minimum wage increases needed, but it can have a negative effect on the private sector. Good evening. I am Kristen Salandi, and welcome to the Tobago Updates television news for Tuesday, 19th of September, 2023. Topping the news tonight. Heat stress is a genuine concern that employers should be aware of, according to the President of the Industrial Court, Her Honor Deborah Thomas Felix. During the special sitting for the opening of the 2023-24 lower term, Thomas Felix noted that many employees work in conditions exposing them to heat stress, whether outdoors or in poorly ventilated buildings. This reduces their productivity while increasing health risks. For more on this report, we turn to Candice Jackson.
Across the globe, countries have been witnessing record-breaking high temperatures in recent weeks. In Trinidad and Tobago, the nation is currently under a yellow alert level hot spell, creating unbearable conditions in some workplaces. Her Honor Deborah Thomas Felix, the President of the Industrial Court, is cautioning employers about this issue.
The exposure to extreme heat can result in occupational illnesses, injury, and even death.
The employees most at risk are those who work outdoors or in inadequately ventilated buildings.
These include workers in hot environments such as firefighters, bakery workers, farmers, construction workers, miners, boiler room workers, factory workers, among others. The increasing weather events directly place workers who are engaged in construction sites, agriculture, and in some cases the essential services within direct risk.
Thomas Felix warned that if workers continue to be forced to work in conditions that expose them to heat stress, the consequences will be detrimental to both economic and social security.
Heat stress can result in heat stroke, heat exhaustion, heat cramps or heat rashes, and heat can also increase the risk of injuries to workers.
To mitigate the risk of heat stress, Thomas Felix recommended making adjustments to working environments.
The best way to reduce the risk of heat-related illnesses include work practices such as allowing self-pacing of work, drinking water often, wearing appropriate clothing, making the work environment cooler through air conditioning and ventilation, provided shaded rest areas, and providing an annual health checkup.
Additionally, she encouraged employers to incorporate clauses for training on mitigating heat stress in their collective agreements, along with establishing a structure for remote work.
Remote work allows workers to stay safe during disasters, such as natural disasters or pandemic, as we just experienced, and minimizes disruptions to business operations. It can also lead to the increased productivity during the time of an environmental or health adversity.
The President of the Industrial Court also urged the government to prioritize climate change as their top concern. She explained that human security is dependent on economic security, which is currently under threat due to the impacts of climate change. She believes that without a healthy and protected population from the risks of heat stress, achieving economic growth and development is unattainable. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates Television News.
Meanwhile, Her Honor Deborah Thomas Felix, the President of the Industrial Court, acknowledged that there is a backlog of cases in Tobago that requires attention. She explained that the COVID-19 pandemic has caused delays in resolving many industrial cases on the island.
It is my intention to make arrangements after discussion with the learned Chief Justice to hold a session in Tobago next year to determine some of these disputes.
An agricultural group has taken steps to enhance farmers' understanding of sustainable farming practices. The Argyle United Farmers Development Group, in partnership with the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, has extended an invitation to the Mar Vista Institute for Agriculture Training and Development to provide training for farmers. For more details, we turn to reporter Tanika Cruikshank.
Climate change is adversely affecting agricultural production in the country, and rising temperatures require a shift away from traditional farming practices. Marcus McCoo, the lead consultant and chairman of the Mavista Institute for Agricultural Training, emphasized that the training program's primary goals are to empower young farmers, particularly in terms of increasing productivity.
So a lot of the training over the next 2 or 3 days will focus on those crops. Planting is another key one, and then there's some interest in vegetable production. So it's really to ramp up the techniques of how to increase yields, reduce costs.
Ramesh Rajman, the president of the Argyle Farmers Development Group, explained that this initiative originated from discussions about how Tobago should advance its agricultural sector due to its current unsustainable state for the island's nation. Consequently, collaborations were deemed necessary because the Argyle Farmers Development Group could not undertake these responsibilities on their own.
When we look at what we have in Tobago, we realize that we don't have the technical expertise to which we would be able to have better yield and more production. So therefore, we would have looked at Trinidad hoping that we found somebody.
Nigel Tate, the Assistant Secretary in the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, voiced his support for the program.
It also will teach them about how to sustain Tobago, especially in this time, this critical time, where we are seeing food shortages in the supermarkets and groceries. Right? It also will help farmers in terms of getting loans from ADB Bank. Right? So this program is a great initiative for Tobago.
According to TADCO's CEO, Denicio Salazar, the training aligns with the company's objective of fostering a strong and more efficient agricultural sector.
Contribution is effectively to provide a market space in where the farmers, what we call primary producers, have an opportunity to retail their products. Now, we're also looking at agro-processors. So TADCO, as a development company, works closely with both primary producers and agro-processors.
The training is centered on achieving high yields for rope fruits, plantains and vegetables by utilizing environmental friendly farming methods. It is scheduled to conclude on Wednesday at the Kendall Farm School. Tanika Cruikshank, Tobago Updates Television News.
Motorists encountered heavy smoke along the highway today, which significantly impaired their visibility as they approached the Orkinskio roundabout around 11 a.m. The Team and Fire Services Department swiftly responded to the scene, addressing the fire before it could escalate and cause additional disruption or potential harm. Given the ongoing heat wave on the island, residents are urged to exercise caution in the vicinity of bushfires and to promptly contact TEMA or the fire department if they come across a fire that they are unable to manage themselves. Stay with us for more news after the break.
15,000 requirements. Job letter and a payslip no more than 1 month old. Utility bill, copy of book list, salary deduction, 10% down payment for self-employed persons, evidence of income and expenditure, bank statement, 12 to 18 months, other supporting document. Promotion ends October 18. Contact us at 639-8375 or 8108 or check us out on www.mpcutobago.com or email us at loan@mpcutobago.com. Mount Pleasant Credit Union's Back to School Loan Promotion.
Tobago, get ready to venture into the unknown. Mighty Crush Entertainment presents Dream the Phantasm. Join us on September 30th, 2023 from 11 p.m. to experience your newest reality at the Shore Park Complex, Tobago. And the best part, you can get your tickets now at Lust Restaurant and Lounge, Gulf City Lowlands, Jade Monkey Bar, Pablo's Supermarket, Barcode, Spade, Stumpy Complex Canaan, or online at WeTix.com and IslandEtickets.com. Mighty Crush Hotline 755-7874 on September 30th at the Shore Park Complex, Tobago. Dream the Phantasm.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket. Like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
From the experts that created the Zinger sandwich comes the KFC Crispy Barbecue Zinger.
The only one I see is you.
Cheddar cheese, crispy onions, the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, and barbecue sauce. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor.
October will never be better with Tobago Carnival Fever. Book your passage and come on over.
Summerama, real steam for the summer at Standard. Is a dream for the summer. Dreamy, steamy, Standard. What you have? All the best deals, no drama. Standard be beat like a hammer. Go tell your friend, tell your papa, tell your mama. We got more. Standards have what is searching for. Quality brand, discounts galore. New things for the summer, online in store. Summertime is here, so make the most out of it at Standard. Never beaten on quality and price. It's nice.
Welcome back. Former Minister Dr. Botawari supports the call for an increase in minimum wage, but cautions that if other economic challenges are not addressed, it could lead to further issues, particularly an increase in unemployment. Dr. Tiwari made these remarks during an appearance on the Tobago Updates morning show, and reporter Candice Jackson provides further details.
Finance Minister Com Imbert is contemplating a potential increase in minimum wage within the country. The minimum wage was last adjusted in December 2019, where it was raised to $17.50, marking a 4-year gap since it was previously increased to $15 in 2015. Former Minister Dr. Botawari stated that considering the current circumstances in the country, another increase is essential.
The private sector wages have gone up by about 10%. Government wages have been kept down with an increase of just 4%. And I think most working people are under pressure. Households are under pressure. As I said, purchasing power has been reduced.
He believes that an increase in minimum wage would also impact the labor market by raising operational costs for businesses.
If you raise the minimum wage to $20 or $21 an hour, are going to find it hard to absorb that. But what they are going to do is that they are going to try and either keep their employees as they are, maybe reduce where they can. They're probably not going to employ any new people. They are going to have to tighten their belts in other ways.
Dr. Tiwari anticipates that an increase in minimum wage may weaken the position of both workers and the marketplace. He emphasized that the government cannot simply raise minimum wage in an arbitrary manner to address the issue of low spending power among the population.
And unless the government is willing to create a climate in which the business community can thrive, then ultimately that is going to affect jobs, it's going to affect income, and it's going to affect employment and unemployment.
Dr. Tawari called on the government to address various concerns, including housing costs, crime, public transportation, and the availability of foreign exchange. He emphasized that addressing these issues is crucial to an increase in minimum wage to not negatively affect the labor market and to ensure the business sector can withstand the increased costs. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates Television News.
With ongoing discussions about a possible raise in minimum wage, we asked you, the members of the public, what are your thoughts on the issue in our Tobago Say segment.
Yes, because the cost of living is very high. You understand?
Yeah, because I think man working real hard, and it's like they're not really seeing where the money going. You're going in the supermarket, is like everything just going up. And I find that is the problem right there.
Because the cost of living and everyday things are going up, and not groceries alone, but in all areas.
Things out there high. Yeah, prices are things where if you have children going to school and your children going daycare and your children going to college or wherever now, but price is high.
Because the cost of living is out of control and it must be raised. The least must get is $25 per hour.
Everybody is getting more money and we need more money. We need money.
Man, it should be raised, you know what I mean? Better for the youths them. Encourage them to come out more and want to do their job, right?
An injunction granted by the Industrial Court to Caribbean Airlines, CAL, to order pilots to work after a sick-out from August 18 to 20th has been extended until November. The injunction was initially granted in response to the sick-out, which led to flight cancellations and cost the company an estimated $15 million. The pilots' union, the Trinidad and Tobago Pilots Association, TTALPA, maintains that no industrial action took place. CAL and TTALPA are in disagreement over pilots' compensation packages, with CAL offering a 7.5% pay increase and a shift to an hourly payment system, while TTALPA's counter-proposal is a 10% increase. Amidst the ongoing increase in crime on the island, the TTPS is advising citizens to protect themselves by avoiding becoming easy targets for criminals. More from Tanika Cruikshank.
Sergeant Joseph Jordan explained that while there is a reduction in serious crimes, they have noticed an increase in reports of home invasions.
We are still asking persons to be a hard target, commercial as well as residential personnel. Secure your home, secure your businesses, put the necessary means and measures in place so that you do not become a victim of a wannabe bandit or a perpetrator.
Even though residents may wish to safeguard their homes, Sergeant Jordan cautioned against resorting to violent justice. The TTPS acknowledges that citizens have the right to protect themselves, but encourages citizens that it should be done within the framework of the law of Trinidad and Tobago. Sergeant Jordan emphasized that citizens may detain suspected predators, but they should not use physical force unless the individual is actively resisting violently. He stated that citizens' arrest can assist the police in apprehending criminals and ensuring justice is served.
If the person is resisting or becoming or struggling, yes, you can use as much force as necessary to subdue the person. If it means calling a neighbor, calling for some assistance, the law allows for that.
Licensed firearm owners have the right to protect themselves and their property, but they should exercise caution and sound judgment in their thoughts and actions when using their firearms. In situations where predators are engaged in criminal activities on your personal property, you are allowed to defend yourself and your property within reasonable limits.
If someone comes into your home to harm you and they are armed with a firearm, and you have a licensed firearm, the person obviously is committing an arrestable offense. They are committing a crime. And you were to defend yourself, protect your family, protect your property by discharging a wrong or two, the person may subsequently die as a result of the gunshot wound. That is you protecting yourself.
To discourage criminals from entering your home, citizens can make measures such as installing fence or burglar-proof windows and doors. Another security measure that can be employed is having dogs. In situations where the transport of large sums of cash from home or commercial establishments are involved, individuals can reach out to the TTPS for assistance. Tanika Cruikshank, Tobago Updates Television News.
More news after the break.
Right now, Tobagonians are just scurrying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
Thank you for staying with us. In his first high-level forum as president of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, Dennis Francis, Trinidad and Tobago's permanent representative to the UN, urged all heads of state to reaffirm their commitment to achieving the UN's 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, by 2030. During the 2023 Political Forum on Sustainable Development in New York, Francis emphasized the global poverty crisis as a top priority. He called upon member states to assess their progress and challenges while emphasizing the need to work collectively to combat malnutrition and poverty. Francis highlighted the urgency of addressing these issues, particularly in light of the setbacks caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, and stressed the importance of taking meaningful action to achieve the SDGs. The summit serves as a pivotal moment in the implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Economist Anselm Richards contends that the government is unwilling to diversify its economy, and he firmly believes that diversifying away from the energy sector is essential to generate the necessary foreign exchange to address economic deficits. This comes in light of Republic Bank's decision to reduce spending limits for US dollars on its credit cards by 50%, with the possibility of other banks following suit. For more information, we turn to reporter Candice Jackson for the details in this report.
Low energy prices combined with decreases in oil and gas production in Trinidad and Tobago are constraining the availability of foreign exchange. Economist Anselm Richards clarifies that this situation has been deteriorating over the years, with the public requiring more foreign exchange annually.
Right, and this barrel is 5 meters. And then this is the demand out here, which is coming from the country for foreign exchange, and this barrel is 100 meters. If you don't grow this to 120 meters or 100 meters to satisfy that, what else do you have?
Richards believes that foreign exchange shortages can only be addressed by reducing the country's dependence on the energy sector.
And he still comes to the nation and say, you know, we talk about diversification, but at the end of the day, the fortunes of the country still rest heavily on the energy sector. But what are you doing? If you look at what they are doing in Guyana, you will see a different conversation, and probably Guyana have learned from the mistakes of Trinidad and Tobago. They are harvesting their energy resources, but they are diversifying the economy rapidly.
According to Richards, Tobago has the ability to bring in significant amounts of forex through tourism.
There's a new emerging sector in the tourism industry where they speak about green visitors who are looking for these green destinations. And Tobago presents a very viable option where that is concerned. So we can now package Tobago as the Green Island of Festival, call it what you want.
However, the development of a robust tourism product necessitates both investment and clear policy direction. Despite the country's commitment to adhering to the UN Sustainable Development Goals of reducing the reliance on fossil fuels by 2030, the government is yet to establish specific timelines and targets for achieving this goal. Richards does not anticipate that any significant diversification plans will be announced in the upcoming budget on October 2nd.
There will be a conversation around the need for diversification, but we have been having that conversation for over 40 years in this country, and we have not seen any affirmative action that speaks that the government is committed to move in that direction.
In the meantime, he notes that foreign exchange shortages are fueling the growth of a black market for it. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates Television News.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is currently attending the general debate of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. This year's focus is on advancing efforts for the 2030 Agenda and its Sustainable Development Goals, aiming for peace, prosperity, progress, and sustainability for all. Accompanying him are Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Dr. Amory Brown, and Minister of Planning and Development, Penelope Beckles. The Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Office advises that tonight's weather will be mostly fair and warm, with the possibility of occasional brief showers. Temperatures are expected to drop to around 27 degrees Celsius. Additionally, the yellow level hot spell warning remains in effect. Tomorrow's conditions are forecasted to be mainly hot and sunny, though there may be showers in a few areas during the afternoon and evening. Cloud cover will increase overnight, leading to showers in some locations with a low 20% chance of an isolated thunderstorm. The maximum expected temperature is 33 degrees Celsius, with a heat index of 37 degrees Celsius. Seas are expected to be slight to moderate, reaching heights of 1.5 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sunrise is set for 5:52 a.m., while sunset will occur at 6 p.m. This has been your Tobago Updates Television News. Before we go, here are the headlines once more. Head of Industrial Court warns employers against forcing employees to work. One economist is not expecting diversification to be part of national budget. And minimum wage increases needed, but it can have a negative effect on the private sector. I am Kristen Salandi. Have a good night.